I'm a married man. I was happy with my wife, Carol, but I had these needs that she couldn't fulfill. Our love life was pretty boring. I went online and satisfied my urges that way, mostly through chats and stuff. That's how I met Veronica. We hit it off instantly. She was a very imaginative person, and we did a bunch of roleplay. I won't go into specifics. Eventually, we started meeting in person. She lived one town over, and I actually own property over there, so we used my second apartment as a place to meet. She was married too, so we had to be careful. This went on for a couple months, and it was incredible. My nights with Veronica were full of passion and excitement. We special ordered all kinds of costumes and devices, and we tried a little bit of everything. Carol had no idea. She could tell that I was happier overall, but she never seemed to suspect a thing. I just told her I had to travel a lot for work. Sure, I felt a little guilty, but it was worth it. Until that terrible night a few weeks ago, when everything went up in flames. Literally. Veronica had suggested some fire-based roleplay. That's all she told me beforehand. I had no idea what to expect. When I arrived at the apartment, she was wearing this wild orange and red costume. She was a fire goddess. She got a costume for me too, a volcano. It was surprisingly comfortable. As I put it on, she lit candles all around the apartment. There were hundreds of them on the floor and shelves. It was very romantic. I stepped out in my costume, and she ushered me across the room like the goddess she was. The flames lit up her beautiful face. I was so turned on. Then she pulled me onto the bed. There was a platter of cheeses next to us, and we fed each other as we got into character. She made up this backstory where she was a virgin sacrificed to the volcano, and now she was a fire spirit. Something like that. I don't quite remember, considering what happened next, but it was interesting. Veronica was always good at improvising. Before we really got going, I heard a skittering noise behind me. Our cheese platter had attracted a mouse, and it was running across the floor. It started squeaking horribly, and Veronica looked terrified. I couldn't turn my head all the way around because of the costume, but pretty soon I saw it. The poor mouse had gotten too close to the candles. It was on fire, racing around the room like a little fireball. Pretty soon, flames were everywhere, and that mouse jumped onto the bed, spreading fire onto the sheets. My costume was thick and rubber, so I was protected, but Veronica's draping fabric was very flammable. Pretty soon, her whole costume was consumed. She jumped off the bed, trying to tear off her clothes. "Stop, drop, and roll, Veronica! Stop, drop, and roll!" She was too panicked to listen. She thrashed around, which only spread the fire more. The sliding door to the balcony was wide open. I watched in horror as my mistress stumbled onto the balcony as she patted at her burning body. In seconds, she toppled over the edge. No! We were on the second story, so I wasn't sure if she survived the fall. All I knew was that the fire was everywhere now, and I needed to get out of the apartment. I tried to look through the smoke, but I could barely see. I couldn't breathe at all. Flames were blocking the exit and getting closer. There was only one escape now. I had to jump off the balcony too. Moving on instinct, I ran through the smoke and got to the edge. I could see Veronica's body on the ground below.
Quick break. My new channel, Broccoli Animations, is now live. I'm posting new full-length videos there daily. Time to join me there. Link in bio.
She wasn't on fire anymore, but her costume was black and melted into her skin. She looked horrible, and one of her feet was bent to the side, clearly broken. But she was moving, so at least she was still alive. I could feel the heat against my back. I didn't have much time left. I took a deep breath and jumped. When I landed next to Veronica, it didn't hurt at all. My thick costume protected me in the fall. In fact, I bounced a little. I had to breathe deeply because of all the smoke inhalation, but otherwise I was totally fine. Veronica looked awful, and I didn't have a scratch on me. "Are you okay?" "What do you think?" I looked up at the apartment and saw that the smoke was gone. The sprinkler system must have switched on seconds after I jumped. An ambulance came to pick up Veronica, and the fire department went upstairs to check out the damage. I took off my volcano costume and the paramedics checked me out. They said I was fine, but they gave me some judgmental looks as they took Veronica away. I changed into my spare clothes from my car and was about to drive to the hospital to check on Veronica, when all of a sudden I saw my wife's car in the parking lot. She got out and ran toward me. "Are you okay? I heard your apartment caught fire." I didn't know what to say. I was so shocked to see her that I didn't ask her how she heard about the fire. I obviously couldn't go to the hospital now. I hugged Carol and started crying. She told me everything was going to be okay, that we could just go home and forget this ever happened. The insurance company would pay for the repairs and we'd never have to speak of this again. I kept thinking about poor Veronica, with her broken ankle and the burns all over her body, but I didn't say anything. I just let Carol comfort me. "What do you say, honey? Let's never mention this night again. Promise me?" "I promise." As I said that, I noticed something in the back seat of her car. It was a little crate, the kind meant to carry mice.